lined up in August, including our first one in August. The Yarrow is up in August, and I'm so looking forward to hearing a feature, a mini feature right now from announcer. Please, Bill, come on up here. Ladies, come here.
Thank you.
Oh, okay, I'll buy that.
Okay, I'm going to start with a poem called Black Squirrel Poem. It was published in Arsenic Lobster, and it goes like this. Without contrition, egregious black squirrels inhabit Upper Michigan and fracture the crystalline trees. Without conscience, disorderly black squirrels inhabit Upper Michigan and scratch the ingenuous sky. Without remorse, pedantic black squirrels inhabit Upper Michigan and spill the upper boulders in the sun. Without shame, incendiary black squirrels inhabit Upper Michigan and append the tenebrous dust. Without thinking, outre black squirrels inhabit Upper Michigan and petrify the involute world. Without regret, audacious black squirrels inhabit Upper Michigan and unionize the local rodentia. This poem appeared in a magazine called Angelic Dynamo, and it's entitled The Deterioration of My Handwriting. I got a D in handwriting in the 3rd grade. I'm 67 now. That failure continues to haunt me. I saved all the letters from the girls who said they loved me. As I look back on them, I can tell the ones I liked by the handwriting alone. When that girl from Princeton Junction drew hearts to dot her I's, I lost interest immediately. I also hated her large, loopy cursive. Tiny, precise script in real ink on elegant paper gave me deep pleasure. Not scent, color, watermark, or sealing wax. As I became a man, I worked on improving my handwriting. Its sloppiness infuriated me. It was too revelatory. I stopped writing letters on pilfered bank deposit slips. I sprung for better pens. I adjusted my thinking to maximize the purity of my hand. The better my handwriting got, the straighter I stood. I filled 1,000 added notebooks. I took a mistress. My handwriting became my immaculate paramour. But recently I noticed I can no longer hold a pen with brash panache. My journals have become slapdash embarrassments. I open them to random ugliness. I don't have the solace of the integrity of the handwritten alphabet. Sterile emails and obvious fonts assail me. I don't fall in love anymore. I wish my hands could still carve the cuneiform of beauty on the waxy emptiness of thought. But all that's left me, what is left me? The precise boredom of processing processed keys. This poem is called He Holds an Expired Visa and a Monday Grudge. It appeared in a magazine called Negative Suck. It's got a funny name, and the idea behind it is it's for poems that don't suck.
Yay! Poems that don't suck.
Poems that don't suck.
It's actually a really cool magazine. He holds an expired visa and a Monday grudge. What recalcitrance of personality occludes the possibility of love? I see so many knitted in demons. Somehow the world survives, just barely. The brides are smiling, but for how long? This poem is called Great Moments in Blindness. It appeared in a magazine that comes out of India called New Aesthetic. I am complicit in the darkness. It trails after me like the milky spore of a mother skunk. I breathe it out in stumpy conversation I must have learned from television. Well, this lack of vision is my own fault. I should have known better than to circumcise my heart and bathe my eyes in witch hazel. I was already an adult when I stood in that cage with you. We bent our knees and rocked it side to side, higher and higher, and you laughed, and when we almost sent it over the top, you screamed with laughter, you shrieked for joy, but you weren't laughing. No, I see it now. You were just screaming. Oh. is an older poem for me. It was published in a magazine that came out of New York called Central Park. It was edited brilliantly by Stephen Paul Martin. And it's called Magritte, about the painter Magritte, the Belgian painter, surrealist painter. Magritte, Part 1, Introduction to Magritte. I picked Magritte up from the bottom of a star. He is desolate with lavender. Who is it, he moans, touching my wrist with his wing? I help him to his feet, careful of his cedar leg. Behind his grimace, he is smiling, like a man drowning in warm water. Part 2, First Experience, Dawn. We climb through a busted window. Magritte cuts his arm. Blood drops out like rusty pennies. A mermaid standing on wet gravel waves to us. He doffs his bowler. The black paraffin that fills his head spills out. This always happens. What's in your palm, he asks. She opens it. It's a baby oyster covered in cobweb. Part 3, Second Experience, mid-morning. The day is as gray as a million salmon eggs. One sun-pocked building catches my attention. No, he says, under this arch. We cobble our way through old streets, past vegetable merchants, occasional hunchbacks, daughters yet to be consecrated. Arriving at the pier, I see a sailboat in dead wind. That is pathos, Magritte says, pointing to a barnacle. Part 4, The Woman. She folds and unfolds her kerchief, folding her eyes in her lap. Her fingers are long and drawn and thin like hollow reeds or scabbards. She is all meekness, all pastel. We see her at the scaffold, darkening in the air, where the clouds are heaving like minstrels and the hawks watch as they fly. Her majesty derives from open clouds. She derives from twilight. We salute her in tandem and gasp as her voice rises and rises into our eyes. Part 5, Toledo. That evening, stepping over lengthening shadows, we're in Toledo, where the moon appears as the white bone of a rose, where 4 clouds create the horizon, where 4 sounds echo through the trees. At the curtain of the city, we come across a thin strand of finger belonging to El Greco. Give that to the woman, says Magritte. She has more need of the digit than we. Part 6, Bedtime Narrative. And on that day the Creator said to speech, what makes your skin flat like the river? I shall give you wounds to perform in your flesh, so that you may never be plain to me. And he was pleased with the lesion which he called silence, and touched his lips to the sky. That place today is forbidden to birds. Part 7, Waking. Now the tendon of God is stretched to plain view. A million onions have been carried to the mirror. Long birds fly in broken formation, all as amethyst and milk. Without warning, the white sword crashes down on orthodoxy. The sky splits open like hell's abortion. A Saracen sun advances on Magritte.
Oh. I think so when we're allowed.
I'm going to read a poem from my chapbook called Wrench. It was published by Herbachi Press out of Liverpool, England, and I'll read the last poem in it. This poem was republished in a magazine called Light Birds Lit. It's called Blossoms and Buds. Not enough of us destroy what we create. We need to crumble our blossoms and buds in our hands. Who has felt that powder and been unhappy? Thank you.
Oh my gosh, that was so double plus awesome, you know? I know this guy's feature here and I knew nothing about him, and now he just comes out and spews out all this awesome stuff, and I'm so double plus thrilled. So thank you again.